to the Ignite prospecting session. After this session, you will be able to describe prospecting and how it contributes to your lead generation efforts, explain different prospecting methods, and learn how to develop your own prospecting plan. Really choose what works for you. Today's training is from 9 to noon. The first hour and a half, Maha and I will cover prospecting. Maha will cover how you can use command to assist with various aspects of prospecting. And then the second hour and a half, Mark will lead you in actually doing it, doing the daily success habits of taking action to generate results. I'll share a little bit about myself for those who may not, we haven't gotten a chance to know each other yet. My name is Leanna Scott. I've been in the real estate industry well, I got my license in 2001. I took a couple years off, so it's been about 17 years. I immigrated to the Central Valley from Vietnam in late 1979. My parents started doing farming in the Central Valley. What else did you do there, right? We're the bread basket of the world, bread and nut basket. So we drove the products. We specialize in Asian produce like Chinese eggplant and bitter melon and mince to the San Francisco Bay Area. And that's how my family came here. So after about 7 years of driving here, my parents established a produce distribution business, selling to just Asian grocery stores in the Bay Area. And then I went off so I grew up doing farming, and then I went off to UC Davis, where I did 5 1/3 years of economics. And one of those years was in China as an exchange student. It was an extraordinary experience. And then after graduation, it just happened that my sister, who was running the family business, was having a baby. So I slid right in and took over management of the family business. I did that for a couple years, and I decided, gotta leave the family business, and I went into technical recruiting contract software engineers, and that's how I met my husband, Ken, who is the software engineer. After a year and a half of that, I decided, talking to software engineers all day was just a drag, not as fun as real estate. So I went back to the family business and I just revamped it. That's when I saw the power of putting in systems, processes, so that business runs itself. And I'm happy to say after 25 years, those systems are still paying off. My parents and I bought our first rental property in the San Jose area like 30 years ago, and we bought a couple more. And through that, I learned what real estate agents do, and the agents that I had didn't felt like was really advocating for me. So I decided to get my real estate license and see if I can do better. And when I met an agent named Helen with Consumer Real Estate Services. She did real estate, her husband did loans, and her best friend did loan processing. So I joined their company. I learned all of it. It was so invigorating. So the first couple of years of my career, I originated loans for my real estate clients. I only did loans exclusively for the first couple of years. And that was when it was wholesale lending. If you had a real estate license, you can do both. So after about 6 months there, I decided I want to be in a bigger company. So I went to Century 21 Alpha. They had a couple offices in the South Bay, and they just bought out a Remax on Castle Street in Mountain View and Linton Street in Palo Alto. And I happened to be living off of Castle Street at the time. So I joined that office. I stayed with Century 21 Alpha for 7 years. And that was when the 2008 market crash hit, where, short sales was the thing. And, I wrote 17 offers per client, waited 6 months to have it accepted. About 2010, I took a break from real estate because it was so difficult. I my husband and I did a startup together selling software that he wrote that allows you to take a music MP3 video music file and create 3D animation with various templates, various components that you can create a visual video. And so after a year of that, which was a whole lot of learning, doing a startup 17 hours a day, working with your husband, talking to VCs, finding, just doing everything, building the business from scratch. After a year, we didn't get the traction that we were hoping for, so we went back to our regular jobs, and I wasn't ready to go back to real estate because I was so burnt. So I started doing, I did wedding flowers for a friend of a friend, just, it was a small job, and I've always liked that kind of, I had a passion for that. And before I knew, I was referred to different brides, and I learned how to do the wedding flower business by watching YouTube. And in 6 months, I had, 4 part-time college students and a delivery van and a floral studio. It was a glorious time. For a year and a half, I did many, many weddings. It really fulfilled my soul. And then 2013, 14, I got a call to come back to real estate. I was recruited back to with an offer to real estate with an offer that was great. And the CEO of that company was my client from 7 years ago. I helped him buy his house when he came to the Bay Area from out of state. He was with De Leon Realty, and at that time, they had a new business model where they had a listing side and a buyer's agent side, and the listing, you either do one or the other. And I was brought on to be a buyer specialist for Mountain View and Sunnyvale. So each agent covers a certain city. You don't cover everywhere. It was a really cool, exciting model. I learned a lot in that year and a half I was there. But I was a W-2 employee, and I just missed being my own boss and being, in charge of my own schedule. So that's when I came to Keller Williams Silicon City in 2015. And I would say it was a phenomenal move for me. I've learned so much. I've really, just the idea of running my business like a business was really groundbreaking. It changed the way I looked at what I do for a living. So after, it's 5 years now, I'm so grateful that I made the move, and I've learned so much, grown so much as an individual, as a business owner, as an agent. So it's really an honor that I get to share what I learn and know about this subject matter, prospecting. And I've learned a lot just from preparing to present the information and to teach. So I hope you get a lot of golden nuggets from this as well. So today we're going to look at the skills we're going to focus on, and that is to lead generate for buyers and sellers. Your prospecting path is the roadmap to your success. You've already covered the basics in the SPARK sessions called Understand the Lead Generation Model. And who can summarize what prospecting is? Let's have one or two bold agents who can share with us, what is prospecting? Please unmute yourself if I see Sheila, maybe something to share.
Yeah, I think prospecting used to be going out in the field, and now is going on the computer.
Awesome. Yeah, really. Anyone else? What are you doing right now for prospecting?
Writing 10 letters a day, talking to 10 people.
Wow, you are really taking this seriously.
Serious. I'm taking it seriously, yeah.
Awesome.
I have less time than a lot of people, so I've got to make it work.
You're absolutely right. It's prospecting is the lead generation effort that is proactive and direct. The agent is proactively going out. That could be virtually in during the pandemic phase, or I call it the pandemic style, going out to find leads and put into their database. In the next hour and a half, we will connect prospecting to lead generation, dive deep into the different prospecting methods, take action and develop your own prospecting plan, or maybe tweak your plan if you have one already, and recap and create your success list. After this session, you will be able to describe prospecting and how it contributes to your overall lead generation efforts. Let's look at the flow of the lead generation model. Notice that prospecting and marketing are your lead generation efforts that bring leads and contacts into your database. So you want to funnel everything into your database. Lead generation, what I heard from the most successful agents in the industry and in the country is you just don't stop just because you have a lot going on. And that's something I constantly remind myself, just because you're so busy closing great escrows, you still need to do lead generation. And because without future leads, your future business dwindles. And you can see here, it starts with finding contacts and people that you've spoken to that you just want to cultivate your relationship with. So you connect with them, you get them into Command or whatever database you're currently using. And if they're not ready to take action right away, you cultivate. As we all know, in any sort of sales industry, the real fortune is in the follow-up. Most of the leads I get, they close in, if they're buyer leads, there are referrals in 3 months. Otherwise, it's 6 months, 9 months, 12 months that I'm in touch with them. And then, of course, you want to follow up with them frequently, get together for a consultation or on a Zoom call, and then they become active clients and we'll get into contract, and it pays off. Lead generation should be purposeful and intentional, and it's the lifeblood of our business, and really any business. And lead generation is taking a message and using a method to drive that message to a desired audience. We call this the message and the method of the lead generation, or the 2 M's. Message, your message needs to match your market, and it needs to make an offer for immediate response. It matches the market by tailoring the intended message to the conditions of the target group. Excuse me, let me move something out of the way. The message should have a call to action. For example, the audience I'm after right now, one of the audience is people who have notice of defaults. I get a list every day of new defaults, and with some with phone numbers. So I would call them, establish some relationship, and I'm actually closing one in 2 weeks where I made the initial contact 3 months ago. So I also put together a mailing list of those notice of default homeowners and sending out a postcard every 2 to 3 months. And then my message is, I'm here to consult. I'm here to offer all the different options they have. I'm not here just to sell their house. you know, if they need to refinance, if they need to file bankruptcy, if they need to modify their loan. I'm here to go over all those options with them, really understand their needs, go over their options, and help them with whatever options they feel is best for them. So my call to action is call me for a free, no obligation, confidential consultation. So the methods, there are two primary methods of getting your message out. It's the prospecting and the marketing. In this session, we will cover prospecting. I know we have other sessions that we spend the whole day, the whole time on marketing because it's such a huge subject. There's so much to it. Lead generation and methods should be prospecting based and marketing enhanced. What is the difference? Can someone share what they think the difference is? And if there is a very important difference. If you're shy, I'm going to start calling names.
I think prospecting is when you don't know what they are going to need, you're consulting, and when you're past what they need, then you're providing alternatives to them. They have to tell you what they need. Then you can go ahead and offer suggestions.
Right. So what is marketing then? How is it different?
Follow up, follow up, follow up.
The marketing is actually the less proactive, less direct, reactive approach to unearthing the prospects. So, for example, marketing is like one of my marketing strategy is I send out postcards every 2 weeks to my farm area of 500 people. I'll put different messages out and then I'll go door knocking, and that's the prospecting, to find the interested people who need to take some action in the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. So marketing is the very efficient, usually higher, money intensive, passive, and if you do it long enough, you get the long-term results. The prospecting is your personal energy, talking on the phone, going door to door knocking, doing home buyer seminars, where you're investing your actual time and energy, and it's not as highly leveraged as sending out 500 postcards after spending 3 hours to generate the postcards and coming up with a message. So, but of course, the prospecting is where you actually connect belly to belly, or video to video nowadays, with the people who are going to take some action. So the really important difference is prospecting really takes the personal energy that you have, and marketing is highly leverageable, reaching people by indirect methods where you're not doing it actively yourself, like mailing out postcards. And what's important about having both is during a shift like this, just marketing alone may not provide enough leads for you to meet your goals. So you got to get the prospecting there too. And of course, we are limited by our time and energy in any given day. So we need the marketing to really leverage and unearth, give us an opportunity to go find those leads.
Do you have a staff that does the generic stuff?
I do. I have a part-time assistant. I have my business partner, my husband, who does my social media, handles my social media campaign, generate the postcards. I come up with the message. He creates the postcards to match the message. And we have a schedule of when things need to be sent out, and he's in charge of that.
So basically that runs itself separate from you.
Yes, it does. It took about really 6 months for us to really work it out, but now it really is running by itself. It's quite powerful. I feel very leveraged right now, but it took me 6 months to set that up, work out the kinks and learn what works and what doesn't. All right, so these are all the prospecting strategies that you can engage in. I've done virtually all of these in my career so far. Especially early on, I tried all of them. I tried so much, and I tried even a lot what's not on here. Like I put up ugly yellow signs. You know, you just buy a sign this big, take a black marker and say, back then the catchphrase was zero money down. So I got a lot of buyers to buy with no down payment. And that's really the base of my clientele right now. Those clients are upgrading and referring me clients. So that's one crazy thing that I tried, and it worked. You know, it worked. It created momentum for me. So that's just one example. So you can go from face-to-face to circle prospecting, being out in the community, just forming relationships, right? You naturally talk about what you do, and when you have relationships with people, they're going to want to know what you do, and they're going to keep that in mind. So what are some of the prospecting strategies that you've done that you find that, you know, maybe some didn't work and some worked better? Davis, what have you done? Davis, unmute yourself. Davis, can you share some? Okay. How about Jim? What's some prospecting strategies you've used and that work well, or maybe not?
I've been focusing lately on expired listings and distressed properties, sort of like what you were talking about earlier, with somewhat limited success. In the past, I've bought leads from a variety of lead sources, paid a bunch of different third-party Facebook lead generation things. Those did nothing. I've had some success with Facebook lead generation myself, but this is part of my business where I'm having a hard time at the moment. So.
Yeah, it's definitely a different dynamic right now with the pandemic. I'm finding that I have to try different things too. And like earlier in my career, I found that enough to try maybe 20 things within the first couple of years. I found 4 or 5 very effective, productive strategies that really worked for me. And what works for me may not work for others, and vice versa. I found that Google AdWords generate a lot of business, and then referrals. And now I get a lot of repeat. I was part of the by referral only team. I joined the by referral only training program where you have all sorts of kind of out of the box ideas, including the yellow signs that you maybe see on the freeway. So there were 4 or 5 things that I really honed in on after 2-3 years of trying different things that I found was very productive.
Hi, Leanna. Sorry, I stepped out for a second.
Okay.
But getting back to your question, when I first started, I sort of did a little bit of everything as well. It was more of a trial and error to see what works, what doesn't work. But the last year and a half, 2 years or so, a lot of my business is, either from open house or from my spheres of influence. My previous clients, they're pretty much, my walking business card. So it's a majority of it is a lot of it. I'm thankful. You know, it's just a lot of referrals I've been working on. So
I like that. The description, walking business card, is absolutely true. You have, you know, a certain number in your database, it really starts generating business for you.
I have a question. I have
Yes.
a question on apartment complexes. How do you solicit apartment complexes? What do you present?
I actually did that for a while, and it was offering really lucrative, like awesome loan programs, maybe just 5% down, low interest rates, help on fixed credit, home buyer seminars. So really geared towards someone who's just buying their first home and they don't know what they don't know.
Were you successful with that effort?
After about 3 or 4 months, I found that I wasn't generating the solid leads that I want. So I switched to, instead of mailing out to the apartments, I just focused on connecting with my sphere of influence. And that really took off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Sphere of influence is really powerful for me. And I think for most. Because people know us, like us, and trust us already, right?
How about your farm? You say circling your prospects in your neighborhood. Has that been successful?
Yes, I've had probably 7 farms in my career. I mean, just because I moved or my farm wasn't working. I've been farming an area that's close to my house for about 2 years, which is the area neighborhood walking distance to the new Google campus in San Jose, across the street from the SAP Center, the Diridon Caltrain station. I claimed the title of the Google Urban Village Realtor, and I market that. After about a year of sending out the postcards, I started getting name recognition, face recognition, and when I was doing Bold 2 years ago, I went door knocking. Well, actually a year ago, I went door knocking, and after 6 months, I got 3 listing leads, listing presentations, and I just closed my first listing in my farm neighborhood.
About a year.
A week ago. So it took about 6 months to really get the first listing appointments, but I had to go out and do door knocking. So I found that people recognized me, but I had to prospect, not just market. And it was really cool that I got 3 listing presentations, appointments, month 7 and 8. And now I have a list of people who are interested in, in selling maybe in 3 months, 6 months. So farming, it's really 6 to 8 months, 10 months of committed religious sending out those postcards.
How often do you send out the postcard, Leanna?
Twice a month. I use Corfact. They have each homeowner, when they get the postcard, has their own unique code that they can go into the Corfact website that's branded for me, and they can find out instant value of their home, instantly find out the value of their home. And you know what? That stuff works. People love it. And you can see how often they log in and how coincidentally, or maybe not, where this is how it just works. The listing I closed, I listed and sold in my farm area, that homeowner found out the value of his home every time he got the postcard. I could see it. It was amazing. It was magical. So it was every 2 to 3 weeks. So it's twice a month it's been about 2 years. I haven't missed one mailing. It's a big commitment of time, a big commitment of money, not so much time, but $850 a month.
Oh, wow.
Big commitment. And I know it's going to pay off. I've seen farmers, people who farm, there's a point where their business explodes, and I can sense that's happening. And yeah, it's been a big commitment for me that I've put in. All right, let's go a little deeper into some of the kind of the top prospecting methods. And after this session, you'll be able to have a better idea of the different ways to prospect. Now, we're looking at the different activities listed on the screen: door knocking, agent-to-agent referrals, open houses, and social media. I'm going to go over the highlight of kind of the best practices of each. And Maha will come in and show us how to use command to help us with the prospecting and tracking the leads that we get, and nurturing using the really powerful, crucial features of command. Raise your hand if you've tried or currently using any of these 4 activities. We have more people joining us now. How about Pearl? O'Brien? Okay, who's not shy today? How about Alice? Alice, are you doing any of these 4 activities?
Yes, I'm on my phone, but yeah, I've done it.
Cool. How are you seeing traction right now?
Well, the door knocking we can't do, which I didn't mind, but I've been calling, and open houses was always great, but I like the agent-to-agent referrals.
Cool. Yeah, that's definitely a powerful thing right now. All right. I'm sorry.
It's hard on the phone. I don't know how to get, where's the chat on the phone? I'm missing it.
So I'll go over the more traditional approach to door knocking, and
Can't do it now.
that's okay. So
Go on to the ones that we can do.
door knocking is a really awesome way to build your business, jumpstart your business. For the longest time, beginning of my career, I didn't like it. I didn't think it was a cool thing to do. But in the last 3 years, since I took bold and I really went out of my comfort zone, I've had really cool results. And when you get to promote yourself, there's nothing like face-to-face interaction. And there's that, eyeball to eyeball connection that you get, that is when you find that one great lead that day, it will really be an awesome experience, and it pays off. And you can ask for business, offer advice, really see what the homeowner wants or need. And building a farm allows you to focus your work, right? You're not driving all over the Bay Area. You just go to that one area. And of course, what you focus on expands. So you can really concentrate your effort. And that's what I'm finding right now is it's much easier now for me to go to my farm and just know what's happening in my farm area. And people are starting to recognize me. And it's a pretty good feeling, where it's so much easier to talk to them after they've seen my face for 2 years, twice a month. And after you get some contacts from your farm, you can put them into command, and Maha will show us how to do that and how to really cultivate that relationship. What are some of the limiting beliefs around door knocking? This is a big subject. Let's have someone really be bold and share what some of the limiting beliefs around door knocking.
Hi, Leanna, I'll talk.
Hey, Melissa, please.
First of all, thank you so much for coming today. I always love hearing your presentations. I always learn so much from you.
Oh,
I actually wanted to, I love door knocking. One of my first experiences door knocking was with Grace, and one of my second was with you, actually. I think door knocking is wonderful, and I used it a lot during Bold to get my contacts, because I found that I was able to get 20 people in just about 2 hours.
yes.
And especially if you time it right during the day.
4 to 6 p.m.
Yeah, exactly. So some of the limiting beliefs I had and still struggle with around door knocking is, you know, am I bothering them? It kind of feels intrusive to just show up on somebody's doorstep and interrupt their day. And then also there's that fear of, you know, I had a few kind of yell at me and do the door slamming, and you know, that doesn't feel good, and you have to kind of find a way, you know, to have that tough skin around it, and just be like, that's okay, and move on.
I was right there too. The first couple years, I wasn't getting any names, phone numbers, or nothing. But you do it enough, you get good at it, you get some success, and it fuels the energy. It gives you the energy to go on. And I have discovered a few really important things that after making all sorts of mistakes, I found that once I was in my farm, I was great. You know, I had the energy, but getting there was tough. So I had to just talk myself through getting there. And so the approach to, you know, the step one is the approach. Know your script. Be in the proper mindset, and that's a big one, right? And knock on the door and step way back so that you're not in someone's personal space. Ask your questions, listen, and really come from contribution. When I door knock now, I truly feel I have something great to offer or solve someone's problems they don't know they have yet. And that's what keeps me from feeling like I'm bothering them. Now I don't feel like I'm bothering them. I really ask, is there anything I can do for you? And some people say, hey, I need to paint my house. So I say, hey, I have a great painter. And there you go. I have their name, their number, and great rapport. They're grateful. And I would ask, you know, who do you know that is looking to sell in this neighborhood? Lo and behold, people will answer that question. I've got names, and I've got, you know, other homeowners' names, and say, you know, the guy across the street. It works. And you have to ask for the business, plant that seed that you are there to help them. And one powerful tip that I've discovered over the years is when I always end the conversation with, is it okay if I keep in touch with you so that when you're ready, I can be of service and, you know, sit down with you and earn your business. As I'm saying it, I'm handing them a little notebook and a pen, and they start writing their name, number, and email. I'm at a point now where maybe 70% of the people I have to speak to, I'll get an email, and maybe half email and phone number. So it's just really approaching, just realizing what human nature is. When you're giving someone a little notebook and a pen, they naturally want to pick it up and start writing, even if they don't realize they're doing it. And you just kind of let them do it. So it works. When I discovered that, my success rate went way up, and lo and behold, you know, I had a lot more fun door knocking, right? And after you get their name and number and email, you enter into the database, and Maha will show us how to do that. Here's another tip from door knocking. Make sure you can read their name and phone number and email. Always look at it, spell it out to them, because sometimes if you can't read it later, it's a lost lead. That's pretty sad. That has happened to me. So make sure you can read it. All right, agent to agent referrals. You're also just prospecting agents. You're getting their contact information, establishing a relationship with them, and you manage that relationship just like any other prospect. And Maha will show us how to do that. Command has a powerful feature that will allow us to do that. So with agents, it's also being top of mind when they need someone to sell a house or buy a house for their client in the San Jose area. What are some of the different ways we can be top of mind? What else can you do besides, send your name and number through the network? Grace, you got some ideas?
Oh, hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Grace.
Yeah, I don't receive that many agent-to-agent referral, but I do get some. Many years ago, I was CRS director, because my name is there, right? If my name is there at the city where I serve, the first city is very important. So they get, oh, okay. I do get the business at the early years when I was working agent to agent, I got more. But now I don't get that many. I do get more success of door knocking.
Great.
Yeah,
So
sometimes if you door knock with someone else together, you will notice it's very important this person is upbeat, and one of you will be a good asking email or phone number. Or sometimes I see we just give a name or iPad or phone, say, hey, can you fill this up? And I know I have something coming up. I sure like you to know it.
yeah, you're adding great value to them, right? You're piquing their curiosity and interest. Yeah, that's always a great engager. Really, you have a secret they want to know.
Sometimes even you just leave the material there at the front door. We do get a listing because you just happen to have a piece of paper underneath their front door. They call you, they say, hey, I'm thinking to sell. And so every way there's a possibility, but remember, it's only 2%, right? For this cold call business, you need to continuing doing something. Then people see you around all the time. They loosen it up. They loosen it up. Yeah, in the beginning, it's always cold.
Yeah, but 2% could equal $25,000, $30,000. It's not bad. It's not a bad return, right? Thank you, Grace. All right, command referrals using getting and giving referrals through command network, referral network. Maha will cover that. And open houses, the cornerstone of the real estate business, pre-pandemic. I'll go over the traditional, just kind of the highlight. And I know Maha is going to be going over the virtual, how to do a successful virtual open house on Wednesday. So for those who are newer to the open house process, preparation is ahead of time is the key. You don't wait till the day before. On Monday, reach out to listing agents, get yourself an open house. Get them, secure one. Tuesday, start putting together your marketing ideas so you can send to your database, your social media, start, maybe handing out flyers to the homeowners who live in that area. And let's have some people who've done some open houses. What are some of the different ways you prepare ahead of time to really leverage your time and get as many people to show up? What are some of the ways that you've found that was really productive? Amanda, how about you? Amanda? Can you mute yourself? Unmute?
Sorry, Leanna. What was your question?
What are some of the ways you prepare for an open house that was really productive and brought up leads and you were able to cultivate, meet people and capture their phone number? I remember, you did a lot of open houses and that was really, you had a lot of energy.
Yes. I think finding something that works for you. I think you kind of covered it earlier, being prepared. So when I was doing open house, by Wednesday or Thursday should be the latest. I should have an open house, and I go in with a game plan. I like to do drawings, guessing, how many jelly beans are in the jar, and you could potentially win a $25 Amazon gift card. So I like to play those kind of games. And I do get people to register. Before the open house at 1, I usually will set up signs starting like at 9 whenever I'm up. So that you can get more exposure to like in the neighborhood that you want to work in anyways. So usually I plan everything a couple days before the actual open house, and it tends to work better. And just by being consistent,
Also,
it comes naturally to you.
Yeah. When I was newer in the business, I would find an open house at Thursday, and then I'm scrambling to prepare, and it didn't work too well. So of course I got smarter and just start the process on Monday. It really is amazing that the more you prepare, the better the turnout. Awesome, Amanda. Awesome. Thank you. So open houses it's a lot of investment of time, as we've mentioned. You're not spending a whole lot of money. So I think you're noticing that the more time you spend, the less money you have to spend to prospect and vice versa. So there's definitely pros and cons to each way of prospecting, investment time versus money, and there's a balance to it. And you find that balance with the strategy that works best for you. So preparation starts early. Prospecting, you want to be there ready with pen and paper or iPad to capture everybody. For me now, I always do open house with 2 people. Well, right, traditional style. One for safety, and one when you have a lot of people, you can't talk to them all. You're going to miss really good leads. So I always have 2 people so that one person can greet, one person can capture the phone number before they leave, and it works great. And there's, you can generate a lot more energy that way as well, and divide up the work, divide up the leads. And of course, once you get the name and number, you put them into command. So Maha will show us how to add contacts, do the follow-up, and to stay top of mind by using command. The virtual open houses, I'll go over this very briefly because it's a huge topic, and Maha will be going over that on Wednesday. Virtually, you can host a speaker, bring in a loan agent to talk about what's happening in the interest, with interest rates. What are some other people, other vendors, service providers that maybe you've brought in or you're thinking of hosting so that you can add value to your audience? Maureen, have you done something like that? Or have you thought of, do you have an idea of what you would like to do? Maureen? Okay, how about Philip? Philip, do you have you done something like that or
I am
ideas?
literally new to the real estate industry and business, so I'm listening for the tidbits of information, like having an open house with more than one person and how to set that up. So it's that information is the information I'm gleaning from this right now.
Right. How about Brian? Brian? What are some ideas you've done or maybe thinking of doing? Bringing in a different speaker, what kind of speaker you may want to offer?
At an open house, right?
Yes, or virtual open house.
A virtual open house. Well, traditional, excuse me, a traditional open house. A couple of times we've had lenders there, in case they have any questions about lending or actual affordability in the house, in case they haven't talked to a lender. And we've had drawings for, so sometimes we'd also have a evening open house, so not a traditional during the day open house, but in the evening, oftentimes to try and capture neighbors in a special neighborhood open house, happy hour type of event with a little drawing for a gift card at the end of it.
Yeah, offering a gift, and it's amazing how quickly your jar of a little piece of paper with their name and number fills up, right? That's the treasure trove that we built. Awesome. Then, of course, you work with the seller to get the house looking its best, and then you go live on FaceTime, Zoom. Google Meet is also a great platform. And so that going live it's its whole session on all the things you can do to make it productive and engaging. And social media. I'm going to let Mahal take over now because she has a lot to share about using Command to help us do all this prospecting and really leverage technology. All right, Maha. Maha?
Okay, I'm talking to myself, sorry.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Okay, today I am gonna explain a little bit about the referral, how to set up a referral out and how to add a referral from another state to your network as well. Usually we use Kelly app on the phone. It was, I don't know if some of you have gone to the mega camp in the past or gone to the family reunion. We always had that app open, and instead of taking a business card, we can scan their card into Kelly and we have them as part of our network. And for you who are just starting the business and did not use Kelly, your chances to do it now with Command. So I'm gonna follow the bullets and the slides where I'm gonna start by the referral. So let me share the screen. Did you put me as co-host, Leanna?
You know what? I'm sorry. I thought I did, but I don't think I have. So let me do that.
Okay.
Okay. Done.
Okay. All right, so I am going to share my comment screen. Can anybody see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Does everyone else see her command screen?
Okay. So I go on the small app, there's the small icons here. You have the contacts, you have the tasks, smart plan, and bam, this is the referral. So it's good to set your network based on what's going on right now. We know a lot of people are moving from the Bay Area to Arizona, to Seattle, to down south. And if you have a referral network, you can earn, of course, a referral fees by sending your client there. So whenever I'm working with someone, a buyer or seller, I let them know that I do have a tight network all over the States. And in my case, I also have it international because I connect people from Canada. I have a couple of clients that are going to put their houses on the market and they're going to move to Vancouver. So in the right time, I'm going to send them to someone. This way, not only I sell their home, I can also benefit from a small referral. The way I do it, I check who is strong and who is producing in specific area that I'm potentially gonna send a client to. Or also I can do it on Facebook. There is Facebook referral worldwide where you can also post, hey, I need a buyer agent in Florida, or I need a listing agent, seller agent in Florida. So if I don't have anybody in my network, I will get a name from, usually you get so many names referred to you on Facebook. From there, I see if there is one person that I trust and I know them, that they refer me a person, I will call them and, hey, are you sure this is a good network? This is a good fit for that area. And based on word of mouth, I kind of trust that referral. Apart from that, from my trips to family reunion, I always connect to different agents and I like their personality, so I add them on my network. And when it comes to time that I can refer them somebody, then be it. I also check with my coworker, and that happened with Kenny, I believe last month. He posted something on the Facebook that he needs somebody in Arizona for Scottsdale. And right away I called him, I say, I have the right fit. So instead of him moving around and looking around, I give him the right person, and I believe he connected with her right away. So that like a little pre-work once you have a referral, because you want to make sure that this referral is going to perform. After all, it's your name on that referral in front of your client. Another time, if an open house, somebody come in and said, yeah, I'm looking to buy in this area, but I have to sell my home in Seattle. I'm like, oh, great, I can help you. I have been working with my partner in Seattle for a long time. Just to say that, to make them feel comfortable, then I have my due diligence to find the right referral in Seattle. And this way, before even they work with me, they have a referral, and I am in the back end following up with them. So I'm gonna jump into comment.
Maha, just a quick note, like they can also search the referrals from the map icon there. If
Yes.
you just go to the map and
Yes, that's what I'm gonna do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I'm just saying like steps that I would do ahead of time. If a lot of people, I don't feel comfortable to refer someone from the map, but I'm gonna get that name and I'm gonna see if they are connecting or friends on Facebook to someone that I really know. This is my due diligence, so I know for sure this is a legit person. Anybody can put anything on their bio. So if I'm adding a referral, if I want to grow my network and I have a name in mind, I will go grow my network. And this is how I'm going to locate someone on the map. Nothing is gonna happen unless you click zoom in this map. So don't get scared, it's working. It's just you have to know what you're doing with command. And I can say, let's see, Sacramento. So here what I'm looking on the map for Sacramento area. Let me minimize your, I'm gonna minimize here. Okay, do you guys see my my screen here?
Yes.
So it showed me by production, whoever is producing in Sacramento, and it gave me so many choices here. Now, those people are not on my network. So I have a 683 result. So let's say I wanna go in Midtown. You can see the count here went lower and lower. And I can go and check who's that person. It's gonna bring me to the connect and it will give me how many closed units. They did not sell anything. This is based on a yearly basis. How many leases and how many buy. It looks like if it's 0.2, technically, I believe this is a referral. They got a referral fee of 20% or 25%. This is how I translate that. So maybe I don't want someone is not really active and based on referral. I want to see an even number in here. So I'll go back in my comment. You guys seeing my connect screen, right? When I went to it?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure when I jump on the screen, you're seeing it. Okay, so I'm going to try another one. Victoria Freeman. Hopefully I get someone here. Okay, that looks like somebody had not included their closing. It's very important if you are an active agent that you include in your bio your closing. There is a toggle where you can add your closing and your leases, your listing. This way, all the statistics will show when somebody click your name. This is a person that did not click anything here, so I would not feel comfortable to refer somebody to them. I'm trying to see someone again. So, okay, I am gonna take you to somebody on my network. Let me show you, if I wanna connect to that person, for example, so I'm gonna invite them to my network. Once you click plus, and I will send them a message. Hi, I'm based in this in the Bay Area and would like to add you on my network. Once I click that, I'm not gonna click it right now. I'm gonna send an invite to them. And if they click accept, that means we are connected and linked together on our network. This is how to send an invitation. So if you have a name of an agent that you'd like to work with them, you can send them the invitation. Of course, they're gonna accept you right away, and then you can work with them. The reason you wanna put it in comment, because there's a way where you're gonna put all the percentage, that referral percentage, and you can track that referral. So that's—
Maha, quick question.
Yes.
How do you search by name?
You can search by name. Why would you not, if you have someone already in your contact? Okay, so here. I see, it gets you here, any name in that area. See, so I have a filter on Sacramento and I want a Heather and I don't know what's her last name. And I think she could be a good fit, but I don't remember her last name. So I can search and I can, they don't have even the service area. Very important for you also to put the service area on your bio. So that is by name.
So part of the reason why they don't have is they probably haven't been using command.
Yes.
And if they're not using command, then they don't have any of the transactions or those things listed. So I think that's why it's important to go and fill in your bio and also start to check mark some of those things. So the closed listings, the listings, all that will show up automatically.
Yeah, for example, here in Sacramento, I know that guy is very active because I never met him in person, but I hear about them all over the place, and especially when I go to family reunion, right? So I click on him, and now you can see he had represented 39 buyers, 59. This is a team, by the way, and they have 93 units closed. So that's a good one. Look at his bio. Look at his service area. So this is a complete bio. So if I'm looking for someone in West Sacramento, he covers Plumas Lake, Marysville, he covers all those. Because you can go Sacramento, but your key question from your referral, okay, which area, which location? And if they don't know which area, I tell them, okay, you're moving to a workplace, give me the address of your work. And from that work address, I can look 5-10 miles radius on Google Map and see which area and what's the neighborhood name. So that's a due diligence that I would do as well. After all, you're gonna earn a check, so you have to do a little bit of research. So I go back in here and let's say, you know what? I'm gonna ask him to be on my network. Here we go. Because also why you want to see there is some closed transaction, you want to send your referral to somebody will close. If you send them to somebody new, you're going to lose that referral. So I'm going to send an invitation now. It's sent out right now.
How many you guys closed a referral last year or this year? Do you have a count?
I think I closed 2 and I'm working on 2. But if it's a small area that they cover and they have 2 referral, that's good enough for me. They're active as a referral agent. But also I can see how many units they're closing. I don't want to see the 0.20. The 0.2 meaning it's a referral.
Oh, I closed 1 last year and 2 this year, and then I sent 10 already, but not from the command. I just have them sign a broker agreement with me, so I have something in writing. My question is, where do you find your own like a transaction? Because you click some person on this page, you will see their total transaction recently. Is it the number you update by yourself, or it's just like a document?
No, the closing, it gets pulled automatically from your real closing from the KWRI. They have their statistic. Whenever we close something, it goes into the system like Sky Slope now, and later on is a compliance. And this is how this number get registered. And it's mostly it's up to now, like year to date, it's during the year, during the same year. So
but when you click some person's name, like Jason Moon, you click on his main page, and you will see closed units, listing sold, kind of stuff. So these are not by update by themselves, right? They have to.
No, this is real number. Nobody can fake this number.
Oh, okay.
It's coming from the system. And when you see like halves like this, you know that there is a referral. They've been working with referral too. And here too. The listing is always going to be because it's their own listing unless they're core listing. These numbers are legit coming from the system. So you can see that guy is very, very active. He's also market center manager. You can see what he is. Sometimes if he's on the ALC leadership, you're going to see it here. And it shows you he works in Walnut Creek, Concord, Martinez, and Pleasant Hill. And he's been 5 years with KW. So he's not also new to the system of KW.
Yeah.
Did I answer your question?
Yes. I closed a referral in March in New Jersey areas. Yeah, I spoke I spent like a day to interview like 10 agents in that area from this system. Yeah, this system have been really helpful, but at the same time, yeah, I also spent a lot of time to talk to them, see, ask their, where they live and what area they service and how they know the particular area and their style, working with my client to see if it's good chemistry. Yeah, just spend some time to talk to those.
Yes. Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. And that's what you need to do. Otherwise, you lose that referral. So, George, you see now, I went to San Jose area and I want to see your production. You see what I did here? You see your name? So let's see how many you closed. You closed 10 units. Did you have any referral closed this year?
I have 2. It's not record here, so.
Okay.
I have one last year as well.
No, this is this year, I believe. Like, I believe it's actually during your year anniversary. Shirini,
Oh.
Shirini, do you think, we think it's really the year of anniversary?
Yes, I closed like 2.
Yeah, I don't know how current the data is because it doesn't show the current data for me also. So.
I'm sorry, we're a little bit behind schedule. Can we pick up the pace a little bit to go to the other command features?
Yes.
Thank you.
George, Rini, this is based, now that I pulled myself, this is based on the anniversary, from your last anniversary to your new.
Yeah, maybe the referral I closed, I did not put on the Sky Slope. They just gave me the check. So next time a record on the Sky Slope will be recorded, I guess.
It has to. It comes from the closing. You see, I closed a couple of referrals. That's why I see 0.4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now if I go back, so this is how I find a referral and I add them and invite them to my network. Let me jump to my referrals. So now you have sent the referral out and I'm going to use mine because I do have a couple of referrals out. One of them I know is not going to go anywhere. Here we go. I was selling last year a house and my client was looking to go and buy in San Diego. So I sent that referral, my client name, the email and everything. And I talked to her on the phone. Some people, they would provide 25% or 30%. I put all this information when I send the referral out. I don't have a referral out to send it to you, but I can even emulate a screen. But I'm gonna send her an update now. I'll tell her, hi Melinda, client decided, which is true. Actually, I just never updated that. Not to move from the Bay Area for now. And I'm gonna send an update. She's gonna receive that email and she's gonna, if she has text notifications, she will see it on the text as well. And now here, this is a buyer one. I'm looking for the closing as well. You can also close it. And here, as I can see, what was going on since 2019. I sent her the referral and she accepted. And then she sent me an update. And now I'm sending her an update. So this is what you see. I've created the referral, 25%, valid for 6 months, because he said he's gonna move right away. I already listed his home and I put that information in here. That's apart from the agreement that you fill between the two brokers. And then this is when it's lost. Referral. And you can see it in here too. This is a broadcast. Somebody had sent a broadcast and I picked it up and it turned to be someone in San Francisco. It's dead for me. So I have to go and close it. Or I have to send it to them because they created the referral and I will have to close it. So these are my referral screen. So the first thing, you start by pulling someone in your network. Now, once you put them in your network, Just slow here. Those are all the people are in my network. So I can go from here, click here and send them a referral. And this is how the referral gonna look like. It shows a market center, buyer or seller. If I say it's a seller, acceptance of this referral, I would always leave it like for 2-3 days. Otherwise it will be canceled from the system. I'd say minimum between 200 to 600. And I put a note, they're moving to your area and I'm selling their house, for example. And then if I have my client as a contact, I can get them from my contact, or I can create new contact from here. This is another way to create a contact if you're using a referral only for that contact. And that, if you click here, you will put all the information and you're gonna find them into your contact. Then it would send the referral request. So you go by the screen one by one and it's pretty easy. Anybody has any questions?
Maha, can you show us how to put a contact into the cultivate phase now? That's really cool.
Yeah. So that's why it's very important you put all your database, you input all your contact in your database. Okay. And now here, I'm gonna add a contact. You can see all my contacts here. A lot of them are leads coming from Facebook campaign. Sorry, I clicked adding a contact already. And Shirini went through that process again on the database session. Oh, having an issue. Okay, so here's how you add a contact. ABC contact. You're gonna put abc@gmail.com. Sorry, there's latency somehow in the network, but you see what I mean. I'm gonna enter a number. The owner is mine. I can select it as a lead, or I can add it to my sales pipeline because they're not closed yet. They're just new contact and I'm working on them. And now if they are a buyer, the tagging is already there. And if they are a buyer from referral, and I don't have the tag, I just can simply write what the tag to be. I create it and I color it and then I add it. So this ABC is a referral buyer, meaning it could be coming to me or going a referred out buyer as well. And then in the notes, I can put all the information. Now you can add more information and get deeper. If they have a spouse. Okay, so I go to that screen here. They prefer text or email, not a phone calls. I tend to see if somebody older age, they prefer a phone call. If they're more techie, it's gonna be a text. And then I can put an additional email for them, an additional phone number. And then I can put also their home address. By putting their home address, if I'm working with a contact, let's say it is not it's a referral buyer, yes. And let's see here, it's a buyer in this area, not only referral. So I can put the address where they live, they're renting right now. Very important to put all the full information in here, because based on that, you can build also a neighborhood search for them. Same as mailing address, social profile. It's good to have the profile. If you get this lead and you search on Facebook, you find them, you put their social profile as well. I'm taking you to every step. And we're gonna go through this also again in marketing and in the open house. When we have a new lead, this is how we're gonna enter everything. If you have their birthday, it's good because they can you can set them on a Spark plan for their birthday, so they can get a notification, happy birthday, or an email or a text if you're using Twilio. Home anniversary, it's when they close. This is not gonna be valid for a referral that is not closed yet. And then here I can put also the spouse name. So that links that this ABC is with ZZZ wife, for example. It could be as a partner as well. It could be a father buying, son and father are buying, or vice versa. So I link those ones as well together. And where they work in. And then here's my sales pipeline. I'm connected, or I just captured them from open house. And see, I'm connected. Lead source type. When you push here, select from contact, that could be a lead coming, like what you see here, those are leads coming from my Facebook campaign. I can say I connected to them through a lead from Facebook. Then I can say select from contact, and I can usually click here. Let me see if it goes through in, and I put the name in here. Let me see if I put Darcy. I'm going also to custom right now. All those information that you put, as much information you put here is gonna be easy later on, that you pick the contact from your database and you put them in opportunity. You pick them and you go and add a smart plan, add a safe search. And then this custom is when you wanna add custom fields. Here you go. Sorry, my computer is so late right now. So you can add a custom field or create it. I'm typing, guys, but it's just not coming up yet. So my client type, let's say he's in the tech business. Here we go, tech engineer, and I say save. So command has a way to check if your phone number, it's real phone number or not. And on one occasion as well, it told me that gmail.com does not exist. What I say abc@gmail, which is a good thing too. So you could see that there is a check done by command. So you're probably missing one number or is not a valid number. So I will tell you, you have an error in your phone number. You can go back and fix it. I believe it's not gonna let you in until you fix it. And if it's not valid, so I can just simply delete it. Leanna, my computer is not behaving well. Okay, let me try to see here if I can create it now.
All right, now we have how to create a contact. Let's do the cultivation, put them in cultivation.
Okay, so the cultivation, so they are buyers, right? Once I created it as a buyer, it threw me into that screen right now. So let me go onto my opportunity and I create an opportunity for them. Every red star here has to be filled. You see how I typed the name? Now it's pulling it from here. And it's a referral buyer. Custom tag if I need to put receive buyer. Here we go. I picked it up. Estimated close date. So I'm going to say that will add it to your pipeline. Let's say you're going to close by September 30. Budget is 800,000. I'm cultivating now. And I added that they're getting pre-approved. So I'm connecting with them and cultivating with them as well. You can cultivate, you can get an appointment, and you can get it as an active. I don't put them in active because a lot of people disappear and they say, okay, we're gonna get pre-approved. I check with them a couple of times, they don't, then they're not really active. I keep them on cultivate and I keep sending them neighborhood, nurturing their neighborhood where they have mentioned which area that I wanna buy. And I'm gonna create here, oops. So I'm gonna say, if it's a referral, it's gonna be 0.25. And create. And here you go, I have all my information in here. And I already calculated the 25%, it's gonna be a $2,000 commission. And I monitor and I work my opportunity as I go. And that becomes in my sales pipeline. Now, if I go again in my opportunities, I'm gonna see them there added under the buyers, it should be. And we do this for referral because there is no referral tag right now. We only have leases, buyers, and listings. And I go and see all opportunities. Okay. Here you go, my ABC person. If I want to view them again, I will see where they at. And if it doesn't work, you can already also toggle here and do it as a lost opportunity. I believe it's gonna archive it. But you see, it gives you an ID. And if it's lost opportunity, you have to describe what happened. Why did you lose them? They never reply back, they never call back. What else would you like to see in the contact? So I'm gonna go to the contact as well and show you how the screen is created right now for that ABC client. Is it because, let's see. Okay, there is a filter on. Okay, because it's a lead. I have a filter on and I need to clear it.
Maha, next, can you show us how to make a Facebook campaign?
Yeah, you see how the ABC, let me show you how it looks now. It's all complete. Always, I play a lot with the filter and that's why I don't see it. So it tells you, today I created them and I subscribe them to neighborhood already in Santana Row. And I can add neighborhood as well. And this is to cultivate also a buyer. Because of the time limitation, we're gonna go further as we go this week. So in marketing, we're gonna have more to go through different fields on the contacts. Today, I showed you how to create the contact in here to add it in your pipeline, and this contact is a referral. Okay. Now, the leads. So let's say now I created that client, and that client came as a lead. Here's my Facebook, my lead campaign. So when you're prospecting, and I want to add something that I do for open houses, whether before or now, the language has changed from open house to a virtual open house right now.
Unknown caller. Hello.
Hello? Okay, it's so slow. So when I have an open house prepared, I will prepare a design, InDesign, and I will say, come to our open house from that day to that day, and I can print that design on a small piece of paper, and I can go drop it at the door, you know, instead of door knocking, I would drop it at their door. Come and see us at the open house. What I did in April, I did a campaign by door knocking saying we closed. If you have any questions, we're ready to schedule a virtual meeting. And I still put it under doorknobs. Did anybody call me? Yes, one person called me, but I could see the spike also on my website, how people are looking at my website, how people are checking my profile. I put my LinkedIn, I put my Facebook, and when I see a spike, I see who preview after the campaign of door knocking. Okay, so here is the paid ads. And I'm gonna create a new campaign for an open house. And I wanna advertise for a listing. By the way, you guys can take a permission from any listing agent for those who are new in the business and ask them a permission to use their listing to bring them some buyers. Nobody's gonna say no, especially right now. And I'm gonna put a name here. I'm gonna put it on Facebook and Instagram. And then I'll set up the campaign right now. This is the process when you create any ad campaign. So because I said it's on my listing, this is a window that comes all the time, just simply close it. Everything is working fine. So I'm gonna select this one. So I am a listing agent. So I'm selecting this one, and that's why I have access to it. But if you're not the listing agent, you can still go change the listing. This is only my listing, and I wanna maybe go and then get one in Cupertino. Oh, I have to. Who's listing agent that has some? Maybe Alan. Search. So I'm gonna go to one of Alan's listing, and I'm gonna select this one. You see his listing name is there. So I'm gonna make an ad campaign. I'm gonna offer a virtual open house to Alan's listing. I don't know why it did not take the, you should take the picture basically here. Maybe it's gonna take it later on. And then you add text here. I say, Gorgeous house in the heart of Sunnyvale. Tucked away in the middle of the complex, away from the highway. By the way, I believe this has been already pulled from the listing verbiage. You see, I did not put anything in here. This is what I always say, at your convenience. Basically, whenever you wanna schedule the virtual tour, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna show you the house. Look in here, you have limitation of the character in any ad campaign. And if you have more than that, it's gonna be cut. So you have to really review what is gonna be published in here. And you see whatever the headline I put here, it's in here. This one is still under Keller Williams because I did not come to the next step and then have to claim it against my business page in Facebook. Description, great home, it won't last. Save. And now I'm gonna configure the images. I believe now I have pictures of his listing right now. You see? So I'm gonna take this one maybe. So here's a trick. People are not interested in a house like that. And this is by experience and everybody talk about it worldwide, KW. People are interested to see a nice open concept. Everybody's looking for that open floor. So I would use this picture. There's a technique when you do an ad to be more inviting to people or not. Now this shows how the kitchen is all updated, and this shows also how the family room or whatever living room is open as well in here. Once I click those ones, it allows you to adjust the picture in here. What you want to show, basically. So I want to show from the bottom of the stool. I don't want to show all the ceiling. And I'm going to save the image here. Now this image, I don't need it because this came from the first one. I can just simply delete the image. It's more than enough you put 1 or 2 pictures, but you're allowed to put up to 5 or 6 pages. So I'm gonna go in here and get that picture that I like. It takes 1 picture at a time. But now you see, because I choose that listing, it allows me to pick pictures of that listing. So again, I wanna push it down so they can see the floor plan. They can see how the floor are nicely updated. And now this is the media. This one is my logo. Usually it would find it, but maybe because it's not my listing. Okay, maybe I'm not gonna do that because I'm using another computer. Let me say here something. Here we go. I'm gonna go to the I'm gonna go to comment, DBA logos, and I'm gonna choose one just for the sake of showing you. But usually I would have everything branded. And here are the examples. And I just wanna choose this one. It will let you save it on your desktop. you go back to your command and you pick it up from the desktop. Anybody see it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. It should have been here. I don't know why drag and drop. It's not taking it. Okay, it's not taking it because it's a zip file.
That's okay. I think you gave us a
I
great.
get the idea. If you're set up properly, because I'm using a different computer than every day, and not everything is at my reach right now. And you can include this one here, and it comes in. Each office is independently owned and operated. If you click that, it comes under your logo. Okay, I'm going to save the add media. And it's telling me there's something required, which is this one. It did not go in properly. Once I configure here, remember I told you this, you should not ever leave it empty because it's going to show Keller Williams like that. And we don't know what happens. Maybe somebody can capture that. So I will go and then, it is really acting different right now. Okay, which campaign? Here, which page? I'll take my business page. And now you can see I'm claiming it. This comes on my ad right now. The only thing I'm missing to complete the ad is going to be the DBA, which is Silicon City or Santa Clara Valley logo. Now there's something else you need to know. When you do an Instagram ad and you choose only the ad, it really shows mostly to your network or followers and a little bit for the outside world. I learned something every day, put it on Instagram story. People like to go to the story because they don't need to read and all that. Everything is going to show for them on the story like that. Your name, and there is a house here, and there's another picture as well.
And that's an invaluable nugget because the point is to get maximum eyeballs, right?
Yeah.
And the story I learned from
Yes,
Maha.
and when people click on it, you will get more information on it. Okay, so another thing, if you click on it, what happens, I will use the lead generation and I will put my Bay Area home.kw.com. When they click on it, they're gonna go right away to my website. I will ask them to research or register to research and set up search database. By putting that in one of the ads, I picked up a buyer and I closed them within 2 months from the day I did the ad. So you can put your website, or what I can do, a landing page. So I'm going to show you something quickly here. You see how my stuff is here? I don't want to go back and forth and pick different links. I go, all my links of command is here. This is my website. Sorry about the delay.
You know what, Maha? We are quite over time right now.
Yes, and it takes time for the, but they, you guys have the idea how to get the referral going, and we're going to be more in depth. The next few days are becoming more in depth, especially on the open houses. I will go through all that.
Great.
So,
you gave us a great overview. You guys
yes.
join Maha to get really deep, and there's so much to learn from her. Thank you, Maha.
And you can put in the chat box any questions, and I can call you or talk to you aside after we finish the session if you need more information. But again, watch for tomorrow and after until Thursday. I'll be touching much more on comments. but you get the full idea.
Great, thank you, Maha. So
All right.
I'm gonna grab the screen back.
Mm-hmm. Let me, I'm stopping sharing. I'm back.
All right. So I will finish up rapidly. All right, so now we know social media is a powerful prospecting strategy given our pandemic, more so than ever. Success when you're posting to your Facebook personal page or any other more personal platform is go by the 80-20 rule. Keep 80% of your posts about yourself, share who you are, and because make those emotional connections, and then add 20% of what you've been doing, what houses you've been showing, what open houses you've been doing, who you helped get into contract, what listings you have sold, so that people know that's what you do. So let's look at the different prospecting strategies we've looked at and see what works for you. So this is the way to prioritize and figure out what's your top 5. So 80 to 90% of businesses come from 5 sources. So there was a national survey from mega producers when Gary wrote his MREA book, and he saw that 80 to 90% came from 5 prospecting strategies. So on the left here on the list, you see all the different prospecting strategies, and the numbers in parentheses are how many closings that, let's say, that agent, an example agent had from these strategies. So you would, to concentrate your energy and really leverage your energy, time and resources, you prioritize. You see which prospecting strategy gave you the greatest number of closings. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the top 5. Then you focus even more granularly. You pick 2 and you really apply 80% of your energy to that to really get the most, where the most of your closings will come from. And then when you have your 2 out of the 5, your list of 5 and the list of 2, you develop a prospecting plan. So we'll do a recap and really give you a plan to focus your time and energy. So I'm going to go back to the recap. The gist is really write up down on paper, what are the challenges to the prospecting methods that you've chosen? Really think about it ahead of time so that you're not caught off guard. You're not, run into a roadblock. Think about what could come up so that you have a plan to circumvent it. You're aware when something is, as life would happen, stop you from executing on your plan, and really be committed to sticking with your schedule. So recruit help from your team, from your husband, wife, kids, so that you're not distracted. Maybe have them solve some problem for you so that you can focus on your prospecting. I know my husband is a great support in that way. He tells me what my focuses are, and then he'll take over. If something comes up, he'll handle that situation for us. All right. So what are some ahas from today's session of what nuggets did you take away? What did you learn that you hadn't thought about before, and something that you would really internalize and add to your toolbox of mindset and strategies and just take some action? If you are answering, please unmute yourself. How about Ross? Ross, you have a nugget that you found that really resonated with you? That's something that you can use right away?
Thanks so much for letting me listen in. I'm actually just listening in and not actually a realtor yet. I'm good friends with Alan, and he said to come in and just get an idea of what it's like being a realtor, and so I'm joining the call. But this has been extremely helpful. So there's lots of different nuggets. I'm not using any of them yet, but this has been really helpful. Thank you.
Excellent. You got an awesome start, my friend.
Thanks.
All right. How do you feel differently? Logic makes you think, emotion makes you act. So what did you hear that really get into your heart that you're definitely going to take some action? Because action is where the results will come. So what is the feeling? Someone share one feeling that really fill their soul so that they're going to take some action. Diane? Diane Sun?
Oh, hi. I'm new agent. I'm still in a learning process, but I really like today's training. And I think, by laying out all the, the specific things, and here everybody talks about the prospecting, how to do it. I'm looking forward to the challenges ahead of me.
Wonderful, wonderful. You also have a great start, Diane. Welcome.
Thank you. Everyone tell me it's the worst time. I don't know. I guess I don't care about good time or bad time, just jumping.
There are always opportunities. I've had training on what we can do right now to thrive through this shift. So it's not the worst time. It's not. I can do a whole class on what we can do now to really make it a thriving time for us and for our clients. Thank you.
Thank you.
Leanna, I have a question.
Yes.
So going back to farming, because with the whole COVID thing, are you still door knocking? Because I know you did mention that it's good to send out postcards and also door knock so they can see who you are. Are you still currently doing that?
I am not. I'm only door knocking on previous leads that I don't have their phone number or just their email. I will door knock on those, and when I do, I step. I'm masked. I've got gloves. I step way back, and those who are opening their doors, they're not upset. So I'm only keeping it to really being assertive to my current list of strong listing prospects, but I'm not door knocking for new leads yet, but I'm thinking about it because people are getting more used to, this life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you all. That is our sharing for the day. Thank you for joining us. And I apologize, we went over time a little bit, but I hope you all found lots of nuggets that will really make a difference in your business. All right.
Thank you for the training.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Leanne.
Have a great
Bye,
day,
everybody.
And Mark, do you want me to keep the Zoom